Without any clear signal that you have arrived, you find yourself moving through a space that feels quietly familiar, even if you have never been here before. It carries the comfort of routine, the kind that does not ask to be noticed, only felt. The air is warm, and somewhere nearby, rain continues its steady fall, now softened by walls and distance. You are in a laundry room beneath an old building, the kind of place that exists slightly apart from the rest of the world. The ceiling is low, the lights gentle and forgiving, casting a soft glow that settles easily on the surfaces around you. Nothing here is bright or sharp. Everything has been worn smooth by time and use. The sound of machines fills the room, not loudly but steadily. A low rhythmic hum like distant waves or a calm engine moving through the night. It is a sound that asks nothing of you. You do not need to follow it or analyze it. It simply exists, steady and reassuring, creating a backdrop that makes it easy for your thoughts to loosen. You move slowly without hurry. The floor beneath your feet feels solid and dependable. Each step is small and unremarkable, yet comforting in its predictability. This is a place where nothing unexpected happens, where time stretches gently without pressure. Nearby, warm air drifts from the machines, carrying the faint, clean scent of freshly washed fabric. It wraps around you lightly like a familiar blanket. The smell brings with it a quiet sense of care, a reminder of simple acts that restore comfort without effort. You reach for a basket filled with clothing and linens. The weight feels manageable, familiar. As you place items into a machine, each movement happens naturally. There is no need to think about the order or the outcome. You know, without focusing on it, that everything will be clean and ready in its own time. Coins or tokens are placed gently where they belong, not with precision but with ease. The machine begins its slow cycle, water moving quietly inside, fabric turning in a smooth, unhurried rhythm. Watching it is calming, not because it is interesting but because it is predictable. You take a seat nearby, settling into a chair that feels welcoming. The chair supports you without adjustment. Your body responds by softening further, shoulders dropping slightly, breath moving with even less effort than before. Around you, others may be present, but their presence is gentle and unobtrusive. Soft conversation drifts through the room, words blending into sound without demanding attention. Laughter, if it appears, is low and warm, quickly returning to quiet. There is a shared understanding here that this is a place for rest as much as for routine. Someone pours tea nearby, the sound of liquid meeting a cup soft and familiar. The warmth of it rises into the air, carrying a comforting aroma. A plate of simple pastries sits within reach, not calling to be eaten, but offering itself quietly like an unspoken kindness. As time passes, the rhythm of the room remains unchanged. Machines hum. Water moves. Air circulates gently. These repeating sounds create a sense of continuity that allows the mind to drift further from effort and thought. When the cycle finishes, you rise without rush. Opening the machine releases a wave of warm air, and with it the scent of clean fabric. You lift the items one by one, feeling their warmth and softness. The textures are familiar and grounding, each piece folding easily into your hands. Folding becomes a slow, calming ritual. Edges are matched without precision. Corners meet naturally. There is no need for perfection. Each fold is simply a way of bringing order gently, without pressure. The repetitive motion soothes your hands and, in turn, your thoughts. You place the folded items back into the basket, noticing how the weight feels lighter now, both physically and in some subtle, unspoken way. The task has been completed, not as an accomplishment, but as a natural part of the evening's flow. Gradually, the room grows quieter. Conversations fade. One by one, people gather their belongings and leave, offering soft goodnights that do not linger. The lights remain warm, the machines continue their gentle hum, and the rain outside keeps time with everything else. You take a moment to sit again, allowing the calm of the space to settle around you. There is no need to hurry away. The warmth, the steady sounds, and the sense of completion create a deep feeling of ease. As you prepare to leave, you lift the basket easily, your body responding without strain. The stairs leading back up are taken slowly, one step at a time, each step solid and supportive beneath your feet. By the time you reach the top, the sense of quiet has followed you. The simple rhythm of the laundry room lingers like a gentle echo, making it easier to let go of any remaining tension. And as you continue on, the memory of warm air, steady sound, and unhurried routine remains with you, guiding you deeper into rest as the night carries on. There is a gentle sense now of coming back to a place that knows you well. Not because it remembers details or asks questions, but because it offers familiarity without expectation. The transition happens quietly without announcement, as though you have been moving toward this place all along. The building around you feels calm and settled, its structure holding the night with ease. The air is still, carrying the faint echoes of warmth and quiet activity from earlier hours. You move slowly through the shared spaces, each step guided by memory rather than thought. There is no need to look closely or take anything in. Your body already understands where it is. You reach a door that feels like your own. The handle fits your hand easily, cool and smooth. As it turns, there is a soft sound, familiar and reassuring, signaling that you are now inside. The door closes behind you gently, creating a small boundary between the outside world and this private space. Inside, the air feels warmer, more personal. It carries subtle traces of comfort, a blend of clean fabric, wood, and the quiet scent of a place lived in with care. The lighting is low and forgiving, casting gentle shadows that soften the edges of the room. You remove your shoes and set them aside without effort. The floor beneath your feet feels steady and welcoming. A coat or bag is placed where it belongs, not precisely but naturally, guided by habit rather than intention. Nearby, a familiar presence stirs. Perhaps it is the quiet movement of a pet lifting its head briefly before settling again, or the simple awareness that you are not alone here, even in silence. The room seems to acknowledge you, responding with a sense of calm. You move further inside, allowing your body to slow even more. Each small action happens in its own time. A light is dimmed. Curtains are drawn partway, softening the night outside. The sounds of rain or distant movement fade into a gentle background murmur. There is a brief moment of tidying, not as a task but as a comforting ritual. A cushion is straightened. A book is set down. These small gestures bring a sense of order that feels soothing rather than demanding. You approach the bedroom, where the air feels slightly cooler and quieter. The bed waits patiently, its shape familiar, its presence reassuring. You move around it slowly, smoothing the covers with easy motions. The fabric responds softly under your hands, heavy and comforting. Changing into clothes meant for rest feels like shedding the last traces of the day. The material against your skin is gentle, unrestrictive, designed for comfort rather than appearance. As you move, your body seems to recognize that the day is truly finished now. You take a moment in the bathroom, not to hurry through routines but to enjoy them. Water flows softly, warm and calming. Washing your hands or face feels refreshing, like rinsing away the remaining thoughts of the day. The towel that follows is clean and warm, absorbing moisture with quiet efficiency. Returning to the bedroom, you notice how the space feels even more peaceful now. The lights are lower, the shadows deeper but softer. Everything unnecessary has been set aside, leaving only what supports rest. You sit briefly at the edge of the bed, allowing your weight to settle. Your breath moves gently, almost imperceptibly now. There is no anticipation, no planning, just the simple awareness of being here at the end of the day. As you lie down, the mattress supports you evenly. Pillows adjust naturally beneath your head and shoulders, finding a position that feels just right without needing to be searched for. The blanket settles over you, its weight comforting rather than heavy. The familiar sounds of the night return softly. Rain may still be falling outside, tapping gently against glass or stone. Or perhaps the world has grown quieter now, holding still in anticipation of deeper rest. Either way, the sounds remain distant, muted, easy to ignore. Your body responds by releasing further. Muscles let go without instruction. Your face softens. Even the small spaces between thoughts feel wider, more open. There is no need to hold on to awareness now. It can drift freely. If a pet curls close beside you, its warmth and steady breathing add another layer of comfort. If you are alone, the room itself offers companionship, surrounding you with familiarity and calm. There is a sense of completion here, not because everything has been done, but because nothing more needs to be done. The day has reached its natural close, and you are free to rest. Thoughts, if they appear at all, are faint and fleeting. They move through without forming stories or questions. The mind seems content to watch them pass, uninterested in engaging. As the room settles fully into night, your awareness follows, sinking gently into the quiet. There is no effort in this movement. It is as natural as the way darkness fills a room when the lights are turned off. And as you rest here, held by familiar walls and gentle routines, the night continues to carry you forward, deeper into sleep, supported by the simple comfort of being home. There is a subtle change now, one that feels less like traveling somewhere new and more like settling into a rhythm that has been waiting for you. The world narrows in a comforting way, not closing in, but drawing gently closer, like arms wrapping around you without pressure. You find yourself on a small houseboat resting quietly on dark, calm water. The rain falls steadily outside, tapping softly against the roof and windows. It is not loud or insistent. Each drop lands with a patient sound, as though it knows it has all night to fall. The water beneath the boat moves almost imperceptibly, creating a slow rocking motion that you feel more than see. It is the kind of movement that does not demand attention. It simply reminds the body that it is supported, floating safely, held from below without effort. Inside the houseboat, the air is warm and still. The walls curve slightly, creating a sense of enclosure that feels protective rather than small. Light glows softly from a single lamp, its warmth spreading gently across wood and fabric, leaving shadows rounded and kind. You move slowly through the space, though there is no real need to go anywhere. Each step is cushioned by the subtle motion of the boat, encouraging your body to remain loose and relaxed. Your breathing matches this rhythm naturally, lengthening on its own, easing deeper with every cycle. Rain continues its steady pattern outside, blending with the faint sound of water moving along the hull. Together, these sounds create a quiet harmony, a kind of lullaby made not of melody, but of repetition and familiarity. There is nothing surprising here. Nothing changes suddenly. You take a seat near a window, where the rain traces gentle paths down the glass. Watching it is calming not because it is interesting but because it is predictable. Each droplet follows gravity patiently, merging with others, disappearing from view. A blanket rests nearby, folded loosely. When you wrap it around yourself, its weight feels comforting, settling easily across your shoulders and legs. The fabric holds warmth without pressing down, creating a sense of being tucked in rather than covered. The air carries a faint scent of clean water and wood, a simple combination that feels fresh and grounding. It brings with it a quiet reassurance, the sense that this place has been cared for and prepared with rest in mind. As you sit, your body responds almost immediately. Muscles soften further, releasing any remaining tension. The small muscles in your hands and feet relax, as if they have finally been given permission to stop holding on. The rocking of the boat continues, slow and steady. It does not change pace. It does not speed up or slow down. It simply moves, offering the same gentle support moment after moment. Your awareness begins to follow this motion, drifting slightly with each subtle shift. Thoughts that appear now feel different than before. They arrive quietly, without urgency, and leave just as easily. There is no pull to follow them. They seem content to pass through, like reflections on the surface of the water that fade as the rain touches them. If emotions surface, they do so softly without sharp edges. Perhaps there is a sense of release, like setting something down after carrying it for a long time. The rain outside seems to understand this, falling steadily, accepting everything without judgment. Inside, the houseboat remains still and calm. The lamp's light flickers gently with the movement, creating patterns on the walls that shift slowly, never abruptly. These changes are easy to watch without focusing, offering just enough movement to hold awareness loosely. You may notice moments when your attention drifts away completely, only to return gently when the sound of rain or the motion of water comes back into awareness. There is no need to correct this. Drifting is part of the rhythm now. The sense of time continues to soften. Minutes lose their meaning. The night feels wide and unstructured, allowing you to rest without concern for what comes next. There is nowhere you need to be and nothing you need to remember. Your breathing remains slow and natural. Each inhale feels like drawing in warmth. Each exhale feels like releasing weight. The body follows this pattern willingly, grateful for the simplicity of it. As the rain persists, it creates a steady veil between you and the outside world. Beyond the windows, everything fades into darkness and sound. Inside, everything that matters is close and quiet. The gentle motion of the water seems to cradle you, inviting deeper rest. Your awareness grows heavier, less interested in forming images or following words. The sensation of being held becomes more prominent than any thought. You may feel yourself sinking slightly, not downward but inward, as though settling into a deeper layer of comfort. The houseboat continues to float, the rain continues to fall, and nothing asks for your attention. Here it is easy to let go completely, easy to trust that everything is taken care of, easy to allow sleep to approach in its own time, carried gently by water, rain, and warmth. And as this quiet scene continues unchanged and unhurried, the night offers you its steady support, allowing you to drift further into rest, wrapped securely in the soft rocking calm. There is a sense now of openness returning, not in a way that feels alert or expansive, but in a way that feels relieving, as though something tight has loosened its hold. Awareness feels wide and light, free to rest wherever it wishes without being drawn inward or outward. You find yourself near the shore, where land stretches gently toward the sea. The sky above is heavy with clouds, layered in soft shades of gray and blue, moving slowly, unhurried. There is no urgency in the air, only the quiet understanding that weather changes in its own time. The sand beneath your feet is cool and firm, smoothed by countless tides. Each step leaves a shallow impression that fades almost immediately, erased by wind or the subtle pull of water. Nothing here needs to last. Nothing needs to be held. The sea moves steadily nearby, its surface textured with small, overlapping waves. They roll in and out without drama, guided by rhythms far older than thought. Their sound is low and constant, a broad, even hush that fills the space without demanding attention. You walk at an easy pace, not toward anything in particular. Your body moves because it knows how to move, guided by balance and habit rather than intention. Arms hang loosely, shoulders rest. Your breath flows naturally, expanding and releasing without effort. The wind brushes lightly against your skin, carrying the clean scent of salt and distant rain. It lifts stray thoughts and carries them away, leaving your mind clearer, quieter. There is nothing to focus on here, and that absence feels comforting. Clouds continue to drift overhead, thickening slowly. They do not feel threatening. Instead, they feel purposeful, gathering calmly, preparing to release rain when the time is right. Watching them brings a sense of acceptance, the understanding that change does not need to be resisted. You pause occasionally, not because you need to rest, but because it feels natural to stop and look out over the water. The horizon is soft, its line blurred slightly by mist. Sea and sky blend together, making it difficult to tell where one ends and the other begins. This blending feels familiar, echoing the way thoughts and awareness have been merging throughout the night. Boundaries soften. Distinctions matter less. Everything becomes easier to hold when it does not need to be clearly defined. As you continue walking, the sound of the sea remains steady, a constant presence that supports the quiet. The wind rises and falls gently, never sharp, never insistent. It moves through you and past you, leaving calm in its wake. If feelings arise now, they do so lightly, like ripples rather than waves. There is no surge, no intensity. Perhaps there is a subtle sense of release, as though something unspoken has been acknowledged and allowed to pass. The open space around you makes this feel safe and natural. Rain begins in the distance, faint at first, visible as a soft curtain moving across the water. It does not reach you immediately. You have time to watch it approach slowly, its movement calm and measured. There is comfort in knowing that shelter is nearby, even if you have not yet turned toward it. The presence of the shore, the steady ground beneath your feet, and the familiar rhythm of walking provide all the reassurance you need. The light dims slightly as clouds thicken, but nothing becomes dark or unclear. Colors remain muted and gentle. The world does not close in. It simply settles into a quieter tone. Your body feels heavier now, not with fatigue but with relaxation. Each step seems to require less effort than the last. The simple act of walking becomes soothing in itself, a repetition that steadies both body and mind. Eventually, without making a decision, you turn back toward a place of warmth and shelter. The movement feels automatic, guided by comfort rather than thought. The sea remains behind you, continuing its steady rhythm, unconcerned with your departure. As you move away from the shore, the sound of waves softens, blending with the distant approach of rain. The wind calms further, as though satisfied with its work. Everything settles into a quiet agreement. The sense of openness remains with you, but it is gentler now, held within rather than spread wide. It feels like a deep breath completed fully, leaving the body at ease. Your awareness drifts easily, no longer interested in forming images or following words closely. The rhythm of walking, the memory of open space, and the steady movement of nature continue to echo softly. By the time you reach shelter, the rain has begun in earnest, falling steadily and evenly. Its sound wraps around the space, creating a cocoon of quiet that feels familiar and safe. Here there is no need to revisit the shore or the sky. Their work is done. They have offered release and openness, and now they remain at a distance, supporting rest without drawing attention. Your body responds by settling further, letting go of any remaining tension. Breathing slows. Muscles rest. The mind, content and unoccupied, drifts closer to sleep. The storm outside continues its calm progression, and inside, you are free to rest deeply, knowing that change has been acknowledged, accepted, and allowed to pass without effort. There is very little left to do now. The night has settled into a steady quiet, and your awareness no longer needs to travel anywhere or observe anything in particular. What remains is a simple sense of being held within the stillness, supported without effort. You may notice that the words themselves feel softer now, spaced farther apart, as though they are drifting rather than arriving. They are not meant to be followed closely. They are simply here, like distant sounds that reassure without asking for attention. Your breathing continues in its own calm rhythm. Each breath arrives gently, fills just enough space, and then leaves again unhurried. It is like the tide at night, moving in and out without direction or goal, guided by something older and steadier than thought. The body rests fully now. Its weight is evenly supported, and there is no part of you that needs to hold itself up. Muscles remain loose and quiet. The face is soft. The small places that often stay alert have finally settled. If there are thoughts, they are faint and incomplete. They appear briefly, like reflections on dark water, and then fade before forming meaning. There is no need to notice them. They pass on their own. The sense of time has thinned almost completely. Minutes do not move forward in a line. They simply exist, one gentle moment blending into the next. There is no before and no after that requires awareness. The environment around you remains steady and unchanged. Whether there is rain outside, wind moving through distant spaces, or complete silence, it all feels the same now. These sounds or absences blend together into a single soothing presence. You may sense long pauses between words, and even longer pauses where nothing is said at all. These spaces are intentional. They give your mind permission to rest fully, without needing to listen or respond. There is nothing you need to remember from this point on. No image, no scene, no sensation needs to be carried forward. Everything that has been offered has already done its work. The feeling of safety remains constant. It does not need to be repeated or explained. It simply exists, like the quiet certainty of a familiar place at night. As awareness continues to soften, it may feel as though you are sinking slightly, not downward but inward. This is not a movement you need to follow. It happens on its own, guided by rest rather than intention. Breathing remains slow and gentle. Each exhale feels like releasing something very small, something you did not even realize you were holding. There is relief in this release, but it is subtle, almost unnoticeable. If the voice fades entirely from your awareness, that is perfectly fine. It does not need to bring you back. Silence can take over fully, holding you just as well. And if you remain lightly aware, drifting in and out, the words will continue quietly, offering a soft presence without drawing you back to waking attention. There is no ending here. No conclusion to reach. The story does not close because it no longer needs to be told. What remains is rest itself, steady and uninterrupted. The night continues unchanged and unhurried. The world outside takes care of itself. Inside, everything has grown quiet. Your body knows how to sleep. It has done this many times before. It does not require instruction or encouragement. It simply allows itself to rest when the conditions are gentle and safe, as they are now. Thoughts dissolve completely, or remain as distant echoes that no longer form words. Awareness loosens its grip, releasing the last traces of effort. The spaces between breaths feel longer now, filled with calm rather than anticipation. Each moment stretches comfortably, without needing to move toward anything else. You are free to let go entirely, free to drift without direction, free to rest as deeply as your body wishes. Nothing new will be introduced. Nothing will change suddenly. The quiet will remain consistent, offering the same gentle support moment after moment. And as the night holds steady around you, sleep is welcome to arrive fully, settling in without notice, without effort, without interruption.